Alright, well, this would have been better. It would have been someone else, but just to add something else, not like there's not enough anyway in this. But try to interview a couple other people. It didn't work out the way I planned. Not their fault, my fault because of time. So I guess for this, I will do myself. But before I do that, I will say one thing. I still, even though I've been in this league for a while, I still don't fully know a lot of people. I'm still kind of shy, so yeah, I'm the awkward poster still, and I think I will always be that, and I'm content with that. But for anyone that wants to be interviewed, there's nothing wrong with a shameless plug. Send me an instant message. Is usually I have it on when I'm around. You can send me a message on PSN because I'm pretty sure my PlayStation is on almost all the time, or a PM, whatever. Not a problem. We'll get it worked out. Cell phone, PlayStation, Skype. We'll figure it out. So if you want to be interviewed, if there's something, if you want to promote something, like if you want to, I don't know, FIFA, Battlefield, Call of Duty, whatever, let me know and I'll interview you, kind of get you out there, help get some interest, attention. That's what I'm here for, I guess. No problem with that at all. I'll do what I can to help. So that being said, I guess like 20 minutes of talking about myself. I really don't like doing this, but whatever. I'm tired. It's been a long night. This is Sunday morning now, but I've been up. I just got off work not too long ago. The time changed, messed up that graveyard shift so bad. I'm supposed to get off at 8, and I'm just trying to stay up long enough to set my PlayStation with the DirecTV and this thing to record the Bucks game so I can go to sleep. They're probably going to lose to the Saints anyway. I mean, after what happened with the Saints against the Rams, I don't think they're going to put up 60 on the Bucks, but seeing how we beat them, they're already motivated. Yeah, I think they're going to take care of Tampa. And especially coming off the bye, it's weird not being able to have any type of activity with the team for so many days, and seeing how all we do is commit penalties like the Raiders. I don't know what's going on with that. It's going to be a long game, I'm sure. But I guess I'll start with that since I brought that up. Favorite teams. Kind of weird. I know most people kind of have teams in the same general area. My dad was in the military, so I moved around a lot. Lived in Alabama, Texas, Germany twice, Colorado, of course. In California. It's really hard. The only team that I like that is from California, well, SDSU, because I go here. It's been an adopted team. So they'd be my third favorite college team. I guess I'll start college since it's a college league. Nebraska obviously is number one, as most of you know. Kentucky, some of you may not know, is my second favorite school. And that's not basketball. That's basketball and football. I watch Kentucky football as much as I watch basketball. I watch Nebraska basketball more than I watch Kentucky basketball. It's frustrating, but I watch. And SDSU, I watch when I can't go to the games, the road games and the home games that my work schedule isn't able to let me do. And I mean, that's just what I am. I'm a sports fan. I watch all sports. I attempt to, at least. I watch soccer even though I really don't have a favorite team at the moment. I enjoy watching soccer when I get out of class on Mondays on ESPN. Mondays and Wednesdays. Fox Sports West. Basketball is the only team, though, that would be California based. And I'm a Laker fan. I will say, even though I'm a Laker fan, I know there's some on the board, the debate between Kobe and LeBron. I wouldn't say it irritates me, because it's just one of those debates that I know is never going to stop. I know LeBron doesn't have a ring. Kobe is not better than LeBron. LeBron has passed him. LeBron's passed him for a while. He just doesn't have a ring. Laker fans. I don't know. The fan base around here at this school makes me, at times, it makes me wish the Lakers would just lose just so they would just stop talking, existing, breathing about Laker basketball. But I do like the Lakers. I'd like to consider myself a somewhat reasonable Laker fan. As I know the Laker fan base has a reputation, and I always wondered why we had it. And now that I've got to live here for a bit and see, it's pretty awful. So I understand. So yeah, that's a family thing. I'd say 95% of the family likes the Lakers. So adopted into that. Baseball. My favorite team is the Cardinals. Pretty exciting run here for the World Series. Sadly, the reason I became a Cardinals fan is because Mark McGwire got traded to the Cardinals. I was a big Mark McGwire fan growing up. My dad got to play against him in high school, and like him being a McGwire fan made me a McGwire fan. And then he got traded, and I remember in Germany waking up early in the morning so I could watch him and Sosa hit the home runs, only to find out later about the whole, the steroid issue. So it'd be nice if that never popped up with Pujols, but I know better to expect someone to be clean in this era. I would like for it to be, but I'm not going to hold my breath on it. Also not going to hold my breath on that Pujols at the moment. If he leaves the Cardinals, I really can't complain. He's much better than anyone ever could have expected him to be, and he's did so much in the community and for the team on the field. I mean, played in 3 World Series, won 2 Gold Gloves, MVPs. I mean, what has this man not done? I mean, he's going to have a statue. I mean, I'm pretty sure they already did the statue. It should be up now. If he leaves, he leaves. I still respect him. I will still root for him. I don't care if he goes to the Cubs. I know they're a rival. I will still root for Pujols. He's a very likable guy, professional, and he brings his A game every day. So I don't even know what to say about the Cardinals this year, because like every time you were going to count them out, they just would not go away. I don't know how that happened, but it's just an amazing run. Hockey, the Sabres. The last team, actually, I'll say before that, the Bucks. That's my favorite football team. They were awful when I started liking them, and I started liking them because in Germany, football games came on at 2 in the morning, so watched from 2 to 4:30, 5 o'clock, and then have to wake back up at 7 to go to class. The Bucks were awful, so awful that when they wanted to showcase Barry Sanders and the Viking offense and Brett Favre, it'd always be against the Bucks. Just watch the Bucks get destroyed all the time, and basically I ended up liking them because I felt sorry for them. Like, no one likes this team. Everyone's always making fun of them. They're at the butt of every joke, so I'm going to make this my favorite team, and maybe because I like them, they'll win. And that's those stupid things you think of as a kid, but they grew on me. I watched them. I'm not going to lie, I never expected them to win a Super Bowl. I'd expect them to suck forever, but I'm a real big defensive guy, as some know, from playing me in the league, and even for those that have played me in Madden. I'm a big zone guy because of that. I'm a big believer in the Tampa 2. I like to use zone blitzes. Man has its place too, but I think the concept of a zone defense is really cool to me, especially if you have the type of team to run it. So for whatever reason, if I ever got into coaching in real life, I think I could, maybe not a hard Tampa 2 or like the Colts are doing, because it's not working right now. But that's not just their fault defensively. I just like the zone defense. I'm a big fan of it. I don't like in real life that we're running a lot of man, because I just don't. Watching Ronnie play man kind of bugs me still a little. But that's my favorite NFL team. I've grown attached to them. A lot of likable guys come across since I've liked them. as far as talent. You know, the Lynches, the Brooks, Barbers, Nickerson, Brad Culpepper, Trent Dilfer. Okay, not really Dilfer, but yeah, Dunn, Allstott. I mean, and now they seem to be, I won't say up and coming, because I still think they're going to hit a really rough patch and not really do as good as people think this stretch, but I think they'll eventually be an up and coming team. Freeman needs to, I don't know about Freeman. We can give him some time. He had a really good year last year. I know he's been having his issues this season, but that's not just on him. There's some other issues with our team right now. So, yeah, we'll see how things play out for them. And favorite hockey team, which is what I was going to say, the only team that has not won a championship that I like in professional, the Big Four, the Sabres. And I don't think, I like the fact we have an owner that's going to spend money. I think that's pretty cool. I really, really do. With that being said, we'll see how they do. I know they beat the Senators yesterday because I was at the gym running on the treadmill, trying to slowly get some exercise while I'm recovering from broken ribs right now. Part of the reason why my voice sounds a little scratchy too, more than usual, because I'm trying to stand still and not breathe too trying not to breathe too hard. That'll be a story for another day, because I want to talk about me in games in a separate one, and WWE 12 will definitely help make that a little bit easier. So I'm gonna hold off on that story. But yeah, I like the Sabres. Hasek is my favorite player. I used to argue a lot with kids at school, like, oh, Patrick Waugh's better than Hasek. I'm like, well, if Hasek had the type of guys that Waugh got to play with, I think he would have Stanley Cups too. So I don't even care that he went to the Red Wings to win a Stanley Cup. I'm just happy that he won one, because I'm so bitter about the disallowed goal that was allowed against Dallas with Mr. Hull, because that goal should not have counted, but whatever. They would have won the game anyway, but I'm glad that we put up a fight for as long as we did. I hate the Flyers. Not even for last year. I can't believe we were up 3-2 and we blew that series, but I just disliked them, period. I still remember one year when I was in high school, they scored a goal. It looked like it went through the side of the net to go in, and it still counted. It's things like, I just don't like the Flyers. I'm sure if I can get Nick here, he can enlighten me on the NHL a little bit more. It's definitely one of the big four I know the least about, but I know enough about hockey. I can name 20 players on my team, so I guess that's good, because I know I can probably name 5 at best on like maybe 7 other teams, but I enjoy watching hockey. I know who the good players are, and I understand the way hockey's played, so I mean that counts for something. What else? Without getting into video games, NDL, yeah, I should probably get into that. That's the whole purpose of doing this. So I started playing online in 2004, and even before then, there was the CSL on Dreamcast with 2K football, which would be how I met Big Rye. So I believe, I don't even know if he remembers, but me and my dad were in that league, and I believe I know I had the Bucks at 2 different stints, but he had the Packers, and I want to say I had like Buffalo or some shitty team, Buffalo or Houston, Travis Prentice, and Travis Prentice for like 270 yards in one game, craziest rushing game I ever had in my life, because it was a fluke game. But yeah, that's how I met him. I don't know if our paths ever crossed in 2K football, but I knew of him, and when the CSFL got started, I got brought in because of knowing him. And I think my first season I had Oklahoma, and we had the tournaments, which were cool. Kentucky I had for a stint, which was also fun. Playing with that team was a lot of fun. Warrens and running a spread offense and actually being able to have it work effectively. Also being able to say, if I want to run a power offense, being able to make games be low scoring. The things you could do on that game, pretty awesome. I don't remember why I stopped playing in the CSFL, but I ended up quitting that league. And then I ran my own Madden league for a couple seasons. I think it was just 3, not too long. And then I ended up giving up the rights and paid for League Daddy for someone else to run it for 2 seasons. And then the NDL, got the invite from him, like, hey, you should join the farm, sign up for this pretty awesome league, go on the farm, play a season and a quarter. I think in that class of the farm, you had myself, my dad was in it, and he's been in the league for as long as I have, 16 seasons. Who else? Sudden Blues was Mr. Amazing back then. I remember he had a mic, and I got to play him during the season. Who else? Oh, Fogtown. How could I forget him? I know dislike for some people have a really hard time accepting losses, and I know I'm not one to talk, but yeah, I think he kind of, yeah, we're going to leave him alone on that one. He's a fun guy to play against, though. He had good stick skills, and he ran the ball very well, and it was always frustrating trying to figure out how to stop his rushing attack. Tried a lot of different things. Most of them didn't work. But joined in season 8, Florida International. Did not know the Sun Belt existed until I got into NDL. Didn't know that Florida International was a D1 team. I really thought that they were a fake school just to fill out the league. So I was enlightened. They sucked. But Antoine Barnes was good. But yeah, it was interesting playing with a team that was that bad. I'm not used to that because most of the time when you play in a league, it'd be like, okay, we're going to be B-level teams or B+, whatever. Same ranking-wise, but good teams, knowledgeable teams that, everyone knows, knowledgeable teams that everyone knows about in the power conferences. So that was different. What else? Obviously, what I'd be most known for is for me, I guess, being a nerd and doing these videos, but it would be my 6-season stint at Nebraska, which I'm sure some coaches plotted on getting me fired. 6 Feet did, and it worked, so I tip my hat to him. Bitter, but tip my hat. I will also, while I'm thinking about Nebraska, let me go on record saying I will never take Nebraska again and dynasty them. The only time I would be taking Nebraska is if I was being a placeholder to hold them for someone else to have them. That is it. There would be ground rules, and it would be talked about beforehand, and it would be discussed with Husker Nation. Minus Trenton, because I know Trenton wouldn't want me to have him anyway in any shape or form, which I'm okay with. You know what? I think it would be pretty cool for Trenton to get Nebraska, so he needs to start winning some games. Well, win more games, beat Dave, get some ranked wins, get Nebraska, dynasty them, and at least just to see him have them for one season. That'd be pretty cool. Or for that matter, everyone. But there's so many Nebraska fans in this league. That's a lot. And speaking of Husker Nation, when I think of favorite coaches to play, that is automatically a big group right there because I enjoy playing everyone. They all play differently. They all have their specialties, and it's always a fun game. Donkey, low-scoring defensive battles. Big Red, close games until he pulls away in the fourth quarter, except for last season. Chusker, same thing. It's just his games are just always dramatic. I love it. The Vanderbilt game against Nebraska. The Baylor game the first time against Nebraska. Enjoy playing those guys. And then other coaches, IROC, best friend. Obviously, I would be enjoying playing him because I was the one that brought him in the league in the first place. Bear Ass, we've played at least 11 or 12 different times. Dole, even though he's not in the league now, but I played him a bunch. Mike, him and his ridiculous user skills. Enjoy playing him. And Daw. I'm faring better against him now than I did back in the PS2 days because he used to just The way that he beat me would just be wrong. It's like it's at halftime and the game's already out of reach, and I just sit there depressed, like, well, I don't even have anything I can work on because I can't do anything. But his work schedule and him being busy and me being, I guess, less busy and getting better at the game, we're meeting in the middle a little bit. So our games have been chess matches the last couple times. Now I enjoy chess matches; those are the funnest. That's why Donkey and Bare Ass tend to be two of my favorite guys to play, because Bare Ass knows me well. Donkey, his defense is tough to match up against. And IROC too. He runs, I like to pass. So we both do things stubbornly to annoy the other person. Me coming out in 5 wide with no back annoys him. Him coming out in a flex bone heavy or wishbone set with no receivers, things like that. Yeah, good times. Toughest, again, I would say Mike, for the obvious reasons. One of my favorite people to play, though, because I enjoy the challenge. The same with Noel. Good. He has good user skills, too. Mike is just in his own world. But Noel has a good passing attack, and he's a good schemer on defense, too. He's tricked me into doing a lot of things. Like, after the play would be over, I just kind of sit there like, yeah, he got me. And Carl Wayne. For those of you that remember when Carl Wayne was at his peak, I've got to experience that a couple times, and yeah, nasty games, nasty. But yeah, moving along. Coach rivals: Dole, Bare Ass, IROC. I would consider Chusker and Big Rex. I think I've played them enough. We've both got some wins against each other, so even though we haven't played a lot, I consider them rivals. Donkey I consider a rival too, but he can't be classified as a rival because he has Colorado, and that makes things awkward between us a little. Though I still root for him, it's hard to root for the jersey though in the league. But I guess just a little about myself, because I don't think I need to say anything else about NDL, like predictions and stuff. I mean, you guys hear me talk throughout these videos, so no need to really add to that. I'm an SDSU student, for those that don't know, senior, psych major, was a computer science major, wanted to get into making video games. I'm somewhat knowledgeable about computers, nothing like homie, nothing on that level at all, but I enjoy messing around with computers. I've definitely done some bad things to my computer as far as trying to play around with it and end up making things worse, but that's okay because usually I find out a way to fix it. I just something I like to do, messing around with stuff, electronics. After I graduate, I'd like to get my undergrad, bachelor's. I'd like to get a master's degree as well, clinical psychology. I like to work in suicide prevention. My best friend died a couple years ago from suicide, so that's kind of the whole reason I changed my major in the first place. And then plus I lost a friend to suicide last year too, so a touchy subject and something that is like the whole thing of me wanting to help people. I feel like I can do it better directly through this than through making a game that people can enjoy. So that's kind of my, I guess, general outlook on me. I would like to do something specific for wrestling. For those of you that don't know, I do wrestle, but I will save that for later. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and end it there. A couple seconds go away here with Mr. Sonic running around the background to get to the end here. I will be having next week's on time because I'll be able to start on time since I don't have any assignments this week, thankfully. So that's it for now. Signing out.